not only were we doing, the running, we were doing the pools and everything. So I was probably in the best shape of my life, which actually kind of married up in a positive way to, me getting injured in that
Mm-hmm.
way. It was part of the reason why I'm still alive. Um, so you want me to just jump in the story
Yeah,
of,
man. Just tell us if you want to tell us what happened.
okay. So in it was February 28th. I was doing my regular routine. I was on my way to the gym at like 9 o'clock at night, and I get a phone call from a friend, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to go see boxing strippers?" And immediately I said yes. But then I regretted it a couple minutes later. I'm like, "Hey, no, actually, I need to go to the gym." Because at this time, Top got an email to send Marines to, for JSOC, and that was my goal. My goal was to, JSOC. I wanted to become, like I was thinking about switching over to, eventually becoming a JTAC, or going JSOC, or these different avenues. So I was pretty like career focused at this moment. It was like the first time like I was kind of clear, clear in my in the military. Like as far as what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working hard to get there, and it's like, hey, you want to go see some strippers box? And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. And like,
Strippers
no,
box.
don't do that, don't do that. But he's like, I already told everybody that you were coming, VIP, bottle service, all this and that. I'm like, all right, man, let me get dressed. So I got sucked
Fucking
into,
Marines, man.
yeah, So, and it's all the way in LA, from San Diego. That's a far drive.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's already like, 9, 10 o'clock at night. So I start heading over there, and he's like, we already have a DD, so we're going to get wasted. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I drive my car to his house in Corona. I pick him up, but we're taking his car. He's already obliterated. So I'm driving, and the place is called Knockouts. So everything seems legit. We get there, he calls his friend, and nobody's coming. He fell asleep, and he was supposed to drive the DD there. He was the promoter. So, and I guess that you can only get the bottle service and the VIP or whatever if you had a certain amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all king. So we was like, you know what? We'll just go inside. We'll have a good time anyways. Um, Going there, I don't even see strippers on the stage. Like it's empty. And so one walks by, and I'm like, hey, when are you guys gonna start boxing? And she's like, what? I'm like, when are you guys gonna start boxing? And she goes, oh, we don't do that here. And I'm like, oh my god, I got taken out to see boxing strippers, VIP, bottle service. None of that happened. So he started drinking, and we ended up having a good time. Marines in the strip club drinking. Like, I didn't get drunk. I had like a beer or maybe two, and 2:30 comes around, and we're leaving. So now I have to drive back from LA to Corona to drop him off and pick up my car. On the way there, we stopped by a 7-Eleven so I could get an energy drink. And I'm on the phone talking with who's my wife now. Um, I'm on the phone with her, and he goes inside the store to grab me an energy drink and gets stopped by some random dude. I see them talking, but I don't know. Like he's from that area, so I don't know if they know each other or whatnot. And so I see him put his hands up like this, and so I get out of the car. I tell her, I'm like, hey, hold on a second. I put the phone down. I get out of the car, and I'm like, hey, you good? And he said, what'd you say? Pulls out his gun, 44 Magnum, large frame at that. Pulls it out, shoots me from about maybe 15 feet away, 10 feet away. And I take cover behind the car, and he bolts out of there. So now I'm thinking in my brain, like, I feel everything. Like I feel my inside swelling. I feel the blood pouring out. I feel the pain of everything. And I'm not in shock, but I'm more in disbelief than anything. Like deployment, the humanitarian, all this stuff is running through my head, and I'm like, I'm gonna get killed in the 7-Eleven. And so I start assessing myself, and I see the wound, I see all this blood is pouring out, and I'm talking to myself now. I'm like, all right, you got to get up, get inside the car. I get up and I pick up the phone. I'm like, hey babe, I'm gonna call you back in a little bit. And she's like, what happened? She heard, here's the gunshot. I was like, everything's fine. I'm gonna call you back in a little bit. And I hang up the phone, and I yell for my friend. I'm like, hey Joe, call 911. But he's so fucked up. When I got shot, he said, "Damn, Daniel," like that. So I'm telling him call 911, and he can't even, like he's just too fucked up. So so I get on the phone, call 911, and I tell them what happened. They're asking for my location, but I'm not from this area, so I don't know. So I get out the car, walk inside the 7-Eleven, give them the phone to tell them my location. And as they're doing that, I'm taking off my shirt and I'm stuffing my hole in my stomach. And I had somebody help me lay down. And at this time, I'm certain I'm like this is it. Like I feel it. Pretty much my body's being drained of blood. Like I feel just like a clammy cold, like just flushed in my face, and things are starting to go like in. And I tell my friend, I'm like, hey, call 911 because I'm holding the shirt, and or not 911, call my daughter. So I put my thumbprint, and he called my daughter for me,
Oh
and I
my
told her.
god, dude.
And at this time, hangs up. I tell him, I look at him, I was like, I'm not gonna make it, And he's like, don't say that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I felt at peace, and I felt like I was everywhere I was supposed to be at that moment. Everything was just felt fulfilled. And I tell him, I was like, I'm not gonna make it, man, but it's all right. Just make sure my family's good. And as I'm telling him that, police officer walks in, and he comes over to me, and I tell him, I was like, hey, look, talk to the paramedics, relay this upper left abdominal gunshot wound. My lungs are fine. I'm not choking on blood. It's not hard for me to breathe. I'm like verbalizing all this to him, and I don't, to this day, I don't really know. I'm assuming that he was able to tell them, or whatever. I don't know, but I know I told him that. And so as soon as the paramedics were able to come in after they cleared out the area, they knew exactly what to do. They ripped out the shirt, patched me up, and I actually had to tell them how to find the exit wound, as they're putting me on the gurney. And so they were like, I told them, I said, hey, I think I have an exit wound. And they're saying, how do you know? I said, I feel warm blood dripping down my back. And so they start checking, but I don't know what they were doing. It felt like they were patting me, like whatever. I told them, I was like, you got to use your fingertips to rake it. And so they did, and it was like, oh, and they patched it up. And then
Jesus.
they said, what happened? And I was like, well, I went to go see titties, and I got shot. And that's pretty much my night.
Damn, dude.
So they started laughing and, did a couple jokes. And I just was thinking in my head, like, I can't die, like sad or, so I was just being myself. And
I don't know. That's such a crazy situation. I mean, like, what a turn of events, right? Like, how could you ever expect something like that? That's like some movie stuff that you'd be like, nah, that probably wouldn't happen like that.
yeah. And the funny thing is, everything, like I was telling you before, everything's on camera. The outside security camera was on and the inside. And I've seen it once before when I went to court. And it shows everything. In my brain, everything happened a lot slower than what actually took place. But everything's there.
Man.
And what I really remember from that night, like when I was going, they was pushing me into the operation room, and the nurse started cutting off all my clothes, and she was a good-looking nurse, and she started cutting off my pants, and I looked at her, and I looked down, and I said, I promise it's bigger than that. she looked like she wanted to laugh, but she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then everything went black, and I woke up, and I had, already the incision made and everything, and that, I think I sent you the picture where, I'm opened up on my stomach, and I actually took the picture. So they left it open, and twice a day I had to pull out the gauze and
repack it.
So, and then I was 2 days in the ICU over at USC, and then they sent me to Balboa, and yeah, man, it was an experience. They tried to OD me there in Balboa, but
well, we should probably talk about that. But did they get the guy that shot you?
Yeah, they actually caught him like 3 days later. My friend was actually a part of finding him. He took his picture and sent it all to his friends in LA and everything, and they located, or somebody sent him back the his Instagram or Facebook account, and he brought it to to the police officers.
Wow.
And we were able to find him. The police officer actually he shot at the police officer, and the police officer shot him while he. So get this, when he shot me, he didn't get in his car and leave. He had a bicycle at the 7-Eleven. And I'm like, man, if I would have died from a dude riding on a bicycle at a 7-Eleven, oh my God.
California, man.
Yep. So a police officer shot 6 times through his windshield and got the guy. And I think he got sentenced to like 50 something years.
Damn. What was the trial like?
I didn't go through the whole trial. I was just I went one time for the just the witness portion of it, and I showed up, and they're briefing me. This is when they showed me the video, and so get me prepared to go on the stand. And the defendant's lawyer.
Mm-hmm. The defense.
So he was like trying to drill me, and so I told the same story I just told you, and I'm missing one kidney, my left kidney. I'm missing 3 feet of my colon, and they had to repair my spleen. So I verbalized this, to the judge and everyone there, and the defense attorney says, "How do you know you're missing your kidney?" And I said, "Well, I just went through surgery." He said, "But did you see him take out your kidney?" I'm like, "No, I was under." And I was like, so he was like, "So you don't actually know that you're missing these organs?" And I said, "Well," and then I started, unbuttoning my clothes. And the judge was like, "Don't worry, just leave it on." I was like, "What, is that your case?" I looked at the dude, and he said, "Can you point out the assailant?" And I looked at him. I was like, I said, "The bald dude in the jumpsuit with a stupid smile on his face." That's what I said. I looked him in his face, and that was satisfying, to be able to just, like, you're going to jail, motherfucker, for.
What a weird defense.
Yeah, he probably just had, like I said, it was all on camera.
Yeah.
They got the gun that he shot me with.
You should have asked if you could have that gun.
So I asked if I could have the shirt that I was in, the one that I shoved in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what saved my life.
What brand shirt was that?
It was a polo.
It was a nice polo shirt.
A nice polo shirt. I should write Ralph Lauren, but hey, man,
your shit saved my life, bro.
Yeah, it was just the right amount of thread count.
Yeah. The absorption was just amazing.
Yeah, it was, but so it went through and through, and it hit the back of me. They said that the bullet was the size of a $50 in the wall behind me. But
did the dude say why he shot you? I mean, obviously he's fucking psycho.
No, I never got that part. There was speculation that he thought that I was part of another gang, but other than that,
California, man.
Yeah, and not only that, they said that he pulled the gun out on multiple people that night. So I guess I was the lucky one.
I guess, dude. Fuck, you should have bought a Powerball ticket that day.
Sure.
Man.
But what the DA tells me after? He said, "Well, at least now you can apply for your concealed carry." I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm telling you, man, I don't get it. I mean, there was a kid not even 100 yards from here, I think he was 14, got shot by some gangbanger, fucking killed right around the corner. And I'm like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get we were talking about earlier at the beginning of the podcast about I know what you're talking about when you say there's people that are just stuck in the neighborhood. I see people when I walk my dog and stuff. I see people where you're like, this dude has always been here and he's never leaving here. He's got the fucking area code tat. Just hardcore dude. You're like, man, I mean, if you care that much about this spot, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't get it though, man. And a part of a situation like yours, is part of it is probably just a dude's slightly insane, right?
Yeah. And I think he was on some kind of drugs too, but
No, yeah, go figure.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like I said, the doctor told me that because of the type of surgery I had to get, um, they literally had to remove all of my organs to clean out all the stool spillage and everything. And they said my kidney exploded. It wasn't just like rupture; it exploded. My my spleen alone, like being damaged, I could have bled out easily. Um, but I just look at it like my friend was a foot and a half away from this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I was 15 feet away from this guy, and I'm the one who got shot. Maybe it was just meant to be that if it was anyone else, they would have died. You know, so
So
that's
fucking crazy. Does your friend remember anything about it? Was the dude trying to rob him or something, or?
no. He said that he was hitting him up, asking him where he's from, and asking what set he's with, all this stuff, and he was saying, I guess that's what my friend was like. Nah, I'm not. I'm not with
Stopping
anything.
for an energy drink, bro.
Yeah, he was a Marine also. Actually, we deployed. That's the Marine that told him that I'll take his Advon spot.
Hmm. Oh, that's
That's,
cool.
yeah.
That's...
So, but yeah. So when I was in the hospital, he felt so bad that he's now this is when I'm in Balboa. He snuck some females into the hospital and some beer in his pants. Like he shoved it into his pants and everything, and was like, "Oh, we're gonna party tonight," and have all these girls in here. And I'm like, bro, I can't even drink water. What makes you think I can?
Yeah, like, what are you doing? That's funny
And
though. That's a
yeah,
good homie right there.
I had 3 blood transfusions. Nothing's getting up. You know?
Yeah, damn, man, that's so crazy. Like, I'm glad I've never been shot. I feel like that would be a just a horrible experience. How long did it take you to recover? Like, are you fully recovered, or do you still have issues?
I mean, I have issues. So much. Most of it is scar tissue related,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously there are certain things that I can and can't take that that'll affect my kidney. But
Mm.
other than that, I'm fine. Like a little bit more pain than a normal person. But
I assume you were medically retired after that.
yeah. So like a week before I got shot, Top Marine came up to me and told me, he called me in his office and he was like, "Hey man, you need to go to mental health." And had one of those talks with me, and I was like, "I'm good. I don't, that's
Because of
not
all the divorce stuff and everything.
divorce, the humanitarian deployment, and like the survivor's guilt from whatever." And he was like, "Hey, you need to go mental health." I'm like, "No, I'm good." Like literally, I was in a company, where the deployment before me is Kyle Carpenter. Like you, I didn't go through that. That's not
That's
whatever.
how we justify stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was dealing with like a lot of stuff. For I guess at this time it was 4 years, 5 years, or whatever. And so eventually he was like, "You either go on your own volition or command makes you." And so I just went, and I got I didn't know it, but I got diagnosed with PTSD there. And then when I got shot, it was already in my records,
Mm.
and so that just kind of like continued on. And then with me missing the kidney and everything, and just so much scar tissue to where at that time I couldn't even stand up straight. Um, I had to go to 5 days a week for 5 weeks, where they're just literally taking like these metal scrapers and scraping all the scar tissue and everything.
Oh, dude.
Sound knuckles cracking, but it was I was only in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Oh, really? Damn.
I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and it was just one of those things, man, where it was like I had to get out. Like I could not stay there longer because it was causing me more damage mentally than it was, like I felt like it was healing me physically.
Mm-hmm.
The first, I would say, like 4 days, I refused to take any medications. They had me on a drip, Dilaudid, and I don't know if you're familiar with Dilaudid, but
I don't know. Is it like a morphine or something?
they said it was stronger than morphine,
Okay.
so it's pretty intense. So every 10 minutes, I had to press the button to get medicated for pain, and I wouldn't do that. I had family in my, that got addicted to that stuff. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
then doctors like, "Hey, man, you need to take this so that way your body can relax and heal." So I end up taking it, and one night, um, pressing the button, like for maybe 2 hours, and I'm starting to feel like this excruciating pain, and I called the nurse in, and he's like, oh, it's not working because it's clamped. And he unclamps it, and the 2 hours worth of medication just
Oh shit.
rushed through my IV, and next thing you know, it was like surround sound noise, but everything's tunnel vision and just goes out. And next thing you know, I'm out. And I remember waking up, and I guess the doctor had to like supervise me and everything, and for so I don't OD. I don't know, but that was